Here at Gundam Planet, we're all about building the weapons and accessories first, and that is going to be the absolute key to the master grade full armor Gundam in brackets, Gundam Thunderbolt. I am aware that Gundam Thunderbolt is not an alternate timeline to any capacity, that like this isn't really the Thunderbolt Gundam. I get that it's just like RX whatever Gundam and it's in the Gundam Thunderbolt world. It's a little tough to wrap your head around, but here's my bad transition into saying that if you like Gundam to any capacity and have not watched Gundam Thunderbolt, it is the best animated Gundam thing that has come out maybe ever. I cannot stress this enough. I've watched the sub and the dub. Like, do whatever you gotta do, get that sweet, sweet DVD set and check it out. It's incredible. It is animated beautifully. It is a story that is like so well told in only an hour, and just like it's the reason why I like care about this model, and it is like keeping me interested in like the whole Gundam thing, because Thunderbolt is so important. Anyway, here's the model. So we got traditional Verka box art here from our boy Hajime Katoki, with, you know, like double Gundam and the text, and there's a lot going on here, and there's a lot going on here. So I'll try not to take up forever, because there's a ton of runners in here, but it looks pretty good. So we'll start out with polycaps. There's not too many. This is a huge model. I don't think this is really gonna hinder much. I hope it doesn't, because I'm like really counting on this to be good. So this runner is large. This is a big one, and it is just chock full of missile pods, just like our big boy is gonna be. Gray plastic. It's kind of like that harder gray plastic. Not like, it's not great, but looks pretty good. Whatever. Moving on, we got part one of the shields. So this is like the middle part of the red shields, and also just like thrusters and vent covers for absolutely straight forever. So K1 and K2, I guess the only difference, yeah, so you got like the cool, like, the Thunderbolt Gundam has like the mesh over the chest vents. I think the regular full armor Gundam does too, and I just love that. So that's on this part of K1, which is not duplicated on K2. So there's the shields, put those down. You got some like gunmetal colored stuff with definitely just some more blasty bits. You got guns, weapons forever. That's kind of the whole thing. Thunderbolt is it's kind of the Wild West of space. They give you a stand. It's one of these. It's the same stand that comes in everything else. Just, you know, it'll be fine, but an action base will be better. So at least they give you one. Next is more shield bits. This is the front of the shield where you're gonna put the Earth Federation logos on all these orange pieces. This is a really neat color that there's not a whole lot of this other than it's just like the actual missiles and the shield parts, and it's a cool accent to the like the maroon and the navy and the grays and whites. So that's pretty tight. So here's the dark blue, which we've gone through this road before, but we're just gonna have to push through. It needs top coat. It looks too shiny. It's not gonna be super fun to work with. There might be some ugly looking nub pieces to cover up, but I want this to be real good looking. So I gotta do that. We got some more of this. We got definitely some backpack parts, and just like all of the like full armor parts of it. Because if you look at the box, you can see there's a sort of a diagram of sorts where it's like the Gundam itself, and then like 500 different things that you have to build otherwise. And I will be doing all of these before the mobile suit, because if I build the mobile suit first, I will run out of steam and never do it, and I'll just never do it. So gotta keep going. Here's the white, which is like it's kind of like a grayish white. It looks super good. It's not like an ice white. There's some super nice details, like mercifully little panel lining, but that's because the part separation in a model of this caliber should be good enough that you shouldn't have to put the panel lines in to get the like out of box achieved result, unless you're one of those scriber people, in which case, like, bless your soul, dude, I can't do that. That's nuts. But like, man, is it cool when people do it right. So you got duplicate E-runners with all like your standard bits and bobs on there, and then we get a duplicate or quadruplicate. I don't know why it says F 4 times. It's the runner set with the shields, like the body of the shields, and the backs, like the big thruster things that come off his back, which is all the long boys here. So all that white looks awesome, and then it all comes together on the oh no, this isn't it. Where'd the other piece go? Nah, whatever, we'll find it later. Oh, it's at the bottom of this deck. So this is hands and head pieces, and just more of like the actual frame of the Gundam. It's all that same cool color. It's white. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna look good. The panel lines will take to it super nice. And then we got a stack inner frame going on. It feels soft. It looks good. Hopefully it's tight enough that it doesn't flop all over the place. This is just all kinds of inner frame mechanical detail. Same thing with here, just a lot of duplicate runners, but that's just what you're gonna get in a model that is like almost totally symmetrical other than the full armor stuff. And lastly, oh, here we go. Here's the A runner. So you get some cool clear green pieces. This is like a really cool light clear green, which I dig. A little bit more maroon, a lighter gray, which is different than the darker gray here. Yellow for the little, not the V fin, but the little V accent on his like crotch piece and all that stuff. So more inner frame there. Good stuff. Here's your stack, which is like, oh my gosh, I'm like kind of sweating because it's hot in here. I'm kind of sweating because I'm just like, man, it's gonna take me a little bit because I want it to be good. I want it to be good. Okay, and then lastly we got regular beam sabers. They're standard. Get a little bit of foil sticker action in there, just a tiny bit. I think you're barely gonna be able to tell they're on there. We got the book size instruction manual, which looks good. Looks like they break it down real nice in there for you. I'm going to be hunting out all the full armor parts first, see where they're in there. We got the sweet P-Bandai propaganda saying, hey, thanks for spending the money on this one, but we got some more gray plastic for you in the form of this like way cool weapon and armor hanger, which I thought was stupid, and then I saw it and I was like, that's stupid, but I really want it because that's what Bandai does to you, and that's good. And then lastly we have water slide decals that are as large as my face, which is to be expected of Mr. Hajime Katoki, who loves that whole chickenpox effect. I'm gonna do as many as I can do before I collapse. And then there's one other, the weird thing that's in here, if I can crack this open, is that all the joints are covered by this like plastic material that I guess you just like cram it in there. I do not know how that's gonna come out or look, but boy are we gonna see. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna figure it out, and like let's just I'm stoked. I gotta keep the energy up. Let's just hope it rules. So see you when I'm done. And I'm back, and I'm gonna start this with a story about why mark setter is important. So last night I finished doing the water slide decals for this, which I'm very happy with. They're very cool. They really make the model in a lot of ways, and I like them a lot. So I did that, and I pieced them out. I brought them to work, and I was like, I'm gonna put some matte super clear on this bad boy because he really needs it. The dark like navy and maroon colors, the plastic is just a little glossy. It doesn't really look too nice unless you spray it down. So the matte, it looks great. And then come to find out that some of my water slides are peeling up, even with the top coat, which I didn't realize something could happen. However, I'm pretty sure that it is because today of all day, instead of being nice and dry like the rest of the week has, it is an actual swamp outside. It is hot and it is moist, and it almost wrecked my water slides until I thought, Mr. Mark Setter, and you dab that on top of those water slides that are coming off, and you give it some time. It doesn't ruin your finish, and your decals are safe. So, not necessarily part of the review, but also kind of part of the review. But anyway, that aside, this is the Master Grade Full Armor Gundam Thunderbolt, and it's probably one of the most impressive things I've ever seen / put together. I kind of can't believe it. I don't really want to touch it. I'll get to that in a second, but man, this is a model. I did, I built it. I did the shields and the backpack and the weapons first. I constructed the frame. I did the head last. I was trying to not get myself too tired out. It goes together insanely well. It is just an absolute solid rock of a mobile suit once it's all put together. It's awesome. Off the bat, I will say, you probably have seen those, there's been pictures online too of people putting the plastic in the joints here to make it like that weird garbage baggy crunchy look. Those are not great. And to say that I really didn't like them would probably not be an understatement, because there's a little bit too much of them. They're kind of hard to work with. It's worth it once you get through it. They do look good, but man, I just did not like working with them. If you had an easier time, lucky you. Luckily, once you get them on there, you get the armor covering it. Really not a problem, but I did not have a good time doing that. The rest of the model though is an absolute joy to put together, and look at it. It's insane. But so what I'll do here is we'll get up close and I will carefully show you all of the different things that this crazy dude has to offer. Alright, so first thing I just want to quickly go over the pieces that are not on the model. So you do get some extra hands. The way the hands clip in is it's the similar to a lot of other models where you build the back of the hand, you put the thumb in, the thumb is articulated, and then you, through a peg, you slot the other different hand pieces kind of into it. So we got a couple splayed hands here, you get a couple just like closed fists that actually look pretty nice, and then you get alternating, each side has like a trigger finger and then like an open hand. I obviously have one trigger finger for the big beam rifle situation, and then there's an open hand for the shield / rocket barrage type thing over here. So that's all of those. You also get these two really stupid pieces that cover up the mesh on the chest vents, if you can see it. They're just little gray squares. They don't stay in correctly, and then you're covering up like one of the coolest parts of this, which I just love. The full armor has these little mesh in the vent. It looks so cool. So I don't know why you'd want to cover that up anyway, so these things are stupid, and we leave them out. And then you also get two beam sabers, which are like totally standard beam sabers, but what you do get with this is you're able to educate everyone on YouTube by using it as a pointer when you don't want to touch the model that you made. So we'll go around this big guy here and we'll try to point out all the different things that we have going on about him. So I'm not going to take the full armor off, and I apologize for that. A really good way to review this would have been if I stopped halfway and taken a look at the mobile suit underneath, and I didn't really think about that, and I got a little bit too far and carried away, and here we are now. But I will show you how it all connects. So with the chest armor here, you have these two pieces. This is one piece that you just kind of put down here, and then you slot the two chest pieces into it, and then you kind of like cover it up with the middle piece here. So it's all real easy to do. These two pieces are separate as well, and they all just like clip right onto the front. Absolutely no problem. Over here on the arms, there's two pieces for these blue shoulder parts, and then the white part with the, I guess these are verniers or thrusters or something on top of it, actually clips over it to hold it in place. So it's real easy to take off. You just kind of rip the white piece off, and then you can separate these two. Totally no big deal. Down here, this is just a piece that covers up the original groin area, and then same thing with the side skirts. They're the same on the front and the back, and they articulate actually really well. They open up to reveal some little missile action in here, and you just clip those on top of the other side skirts, so easy front and back. Same thing with the back piece here of the waist, it just clips on over it. So the arms, same thing. If you can't really see the arms under this, but there are just two pieces of blue plastic that clip on the front and the back, and they stay on very, very well. And then down here we get to the legs. So these guys actually, these can move out too. Let's be careful. So we got some more firepower right here. These just clip onto the front. The legs clip on the sides. There's like one big piece and one small piece, and they just snap on, no problem. On both legs, same thing. There's also a piece on the back. There's just a little blue piece that clips on over that, and then you actually clip two. There's similar white pieces to these like octagonal pieces under these. You just clip these over it, gives a little bit more bulk. So that's no problem. So, and then same thing with the feet. You get there's standard feet under here, and then you clip the blue pieces that have these really, really sick, let's get them, these like feet hooks going on that two of them are, oh, there we go. So like get these cool red feet hooks right here that just kind of pop down, and then also on the back they move out. Just gotta be careful not to knock off the armor. So that's awesome. One thing I will say now that we're down at the feet is that what you have to be really careful doing, both putting the arms in and the feet in, is that it has the plastic wrap here, and it wants you to cut the plastic wrap away from the peg to peg it into the foot. This doesn't really sound like a problem until you realize that your nippers, no matter if you're using GP nippers, which would be great, or even God hands, are not sharp enough to cut this plastic. So if you have like some scissors from like a Swiss Army knife or something to really like be able to pull that off there, that's probably the best way to do it. Otherwise you end up like pulling on the plastic, and it really gets in the way. It's probably just that I've never worked with anything like this before, but it was definitely a challenge. So not really my favorite thing. In the knees, if we spin them around, you can see in the back how it's all crumpled up there. The legs I thought were a lot easier than the arms because there's a little more space to work with, and it does look good. It also, and I'm not going to move it because I'm too scared of ruining my finish, but it does not inhibit articulation at all if you do it correctly. It is a very cool effect, and you do get a great bend out of the knee. You're also able to move the legs like all the way up forward. They come all the way out. The feet articulate separately too, so all kinds of movement down here. So then moving back up, we have the side skirts, like I said, they all move all the way around. Same thing on the front and back and the sides. You can move out all the side skirts if you need to. And then while we're back here, we got the backpack, which connects in a way that I actually haven't seen before. So what you do is there's a white piece on the back that you slide it down, clip it over the smaller backpack on the Gundam, and then it just stays in place. And it stays extraordinarily well, so I'm very happy about that. So now we're here, we got all kind of cool decals I did here. You can move these guys around, do what you want. That's awesome. And then on top of it, where the shields are, is you build these mechanisms that end up like folding down in, but then you pull them all the way up and out and then unfold everything to be able to clip them into the shields. And I'm really impressed with the way that they hold the shields, and you can move it and it keeps the shields up, which is great. You just gotta arrange them around the, where you get this giant cool cannon up here. And then also this guy, these doors can open up. Let's see if we can see this right quick. Come on. To even more rockets. You're literally rockets for days. So, and then not only that, but wait, what's that? Oh my god, more rockets. More rocket power than you could ever imagine. Wiggity, wiggity, wiggity. So, okay, so then the other things to consider are that I thought it was going to be very difficult to clip the accessories onto his hands there. It's really not. They actually let you slide the peg that he holds in the gun all the way out, clip it into his hand, and then just like kind of slot it over there so it stays in really well there. Obviously not a lot of problems. I don't know if you'd really be able to like move him or pose him with these huge things he's holding, because this is kind of just like resting here. It just like clips over his arm. But man, the finished product is just like insane. So that's, other than the fact that you can remove all the full armor parts, like I said, like these are all the main gimmicks associated with it, and I just like can't say enough of how like absolutely impressed I am of the way that this goes together and did not fall apart the entire time I was doing this. So that really speaks to like what an awesome model this really is. So listen, if you want to do something cool, if you want to undertake something that's going to take you more time than a lot of other models, and you really want to like put your time into something, especially if you're going to paint this, whoo! But bless you if you're going to paint this. But even just doing it, it's an undertaking. It's insanely rewarding. It's a crazy nice display piece that like I just am so happy that I'll now get to appreciate forever. But if you want to undertake something like that, like definitely get this. It's the most impressive model I think Bandai has put out in a long time. It's just really inspiring and captivating to me to look at something like this neat. I love this design. I love Gundam Thunderbolt. Watch Gundam Thunderbolt. Do that, and yeah, if you're down for all that, bring him home. It's awesome. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for bearing with me and like maybe not reviewing this the way that it should have been reviewed. But thank you so much. Thanks to Marshawn for the music. Like, comment, subscribe. Just please, we're gonna keep trying to talk to everyone in the comments. We really like doing these, so anything you can do to help us do this for you will be great. We love you.